Okay, so once we've finished editing the video footage, what we usually do as the final step is to add titles. It's a very easy process, but the first stage is to move the scrub line over the part of the footage that you want to create the title. This is just going to make it easy. So I'm going to put it here over the horses. Now the reason I do that is that when I go to add the title, we do File, New, Title. What I have here is, first of all, I have to name the title, and I tend to give it the title that I'm going to write. So I'm going to call this my project. Okay, that. And you can see underneath here, I can see exactly where the footage is. Now the reason it's good to do this is you can now see where to position the title. I've got a big space here, but I haven't got a lot of space down here because the horses are going to run through it and that could be distracting. So I want to put the title over the footage so that I can see where is free to write. You will notice, by the way, that we have some little lines here. These are called safe lines. Depending on what television people are watching on, whether it's a widescreen or how large it is, if you write within these lines, then it doesn't matter what type of TV they have, they will always be able to read it. If you go outside of those lines, then there is a risk that on some televisions they won't be able to read the full title. So, just to show you this workspace a little bit, this is where we're going to write the title. These are our tools. So we've got the selection tool, we have the text tool, we have a vertical type tool there which allows us to write downwards. I tend to avoid that because it's not easy to read. We can also write on a slant. I tend to use this text tool here. On this area we have the controls of the text itself, so I'll show you how to use that. And here we have a variety of effects that we can apply to the text. And if you want a shortcut to the text styles, then all your fonts are in here. Some of them great, some of them a little bit clip arty. So first thing I do is I choose my font. I'm going to go for this type of font just for the hell of it. I select my type tool, and then if I hover over the bit where I want to write my title and drag out a shape, you can see that that shape is where I am going to position my title. You can also see the flashing cursor there tells me where I can start typing. So if I write my title, the project, up it comes. Now there are a whole load of things I can do to this now. If I select it, using the tools up here, I can increase the size of the writing. I can increase the space between the letters. I can also increase the amount between different lines of it. I haven't got that many different lines. I can center it, so I know that it's dead in the middle. There's a variety of things. This is an interesting tool here. This tells you whether you want to animate the title. So mine's still at the moment, but I could have it rolling, that's up and down the screen, or I could have it crawling from the left or crawling from the right. I'm going to put it on a roll here, and you can see that you then have more options: start off screen, end off screen. That's what I tend to do, so I would tick both of those. Let's OK that. Okay, other effects that we can do down here. We can alter the opacity so that it's slightly see-through. You can see a little bit of the background there. We can alter the position of this title, and using this button over here, the rotation tool, we can also rotate the title a little bit if we want. I tend not to use that one too much. We can also alter the height, the setting, the position of the text, etc., etc. We can change the font here, we can change the font size. There are a whole load of different things that we can do, many of which are graphic tools, which you'll learn about in other programs. Similarly, we can fill them. So for instance, mine's filled with black at the moment, but I could change that to red. Don't know why I would do that. Strokes are the edges of the lettering, and again, at the moment that's white. I could change that to black, and there we have red on black. We can also put some shadow in. I'm not sure how much shadow I want there. In fact, no, I think I'm going to leave it out. Now, one of the things that we sometimes forget is how to save this. It seems like there's no save button, and that's because there isn't. All you do here is click off, and it disappears, but it loads a title file into your bin here. In order to apply it, simply drag it to the right area, over the top, remember, of the footage, because if you put it underneath you won't be able to see it. And then if I play my footage, we should be able to see the title rolling up. Now if I want to spend longer on the footage, I can drag it in, I can drag it out, just so that it takes up a certain amount of space. And that is basically how to add titles. You can add as many different ones as you want throughout the film. It just keeps going like that.